Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Matt with Garden Distractions. Glad you can make it for today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the Fiddle Leaf Fig. So that's this guy here. My Fiddle Leaf Fig I bought probably a couple of years ago, and I did have it growing up to be about 9 feet tall. That is back in Edmonton before we moved. We have since moved to Calgary, and in order to get it to transport, I had to cut it back a little bit. So I took a cutting at about the 5.5, 5'7" section here, and I gave that to my mom to start growing and get a tree from that. Now I'm going to be propagating this and kind of redoing the plant a little bit, and the reason for it is a couple of reasons. My cutting is so high, and now it's starting to branch off in 2 sections, and my ceilings are about 8 feet tall, so I don't really want them to start really becoming a tree at that height. The other reason why is, if you see on the leaf here, you can see some browning. You can see some on this leaf here as well. Some browning down here, and got some here and some here. Pretty much all the leaves do have browning, and the reason for that is because I overwatered it. So the plant's showing that it has been overwatered, and now it's kind of suffering from root rot. Now, root rot is when your roots become brown and they start to rot in the soil, and that is caused from overwatering. So I'm going to be taking care of that today. We're going to transplant, well, not really transplant, we're more like going to propagate. So I'm thinking of taking this section right here, which is about a good foot in length. I'm going to cut that off about right here. And then I'm going to take this leaf and this leaf off. That's going to be one propagation. And then I'm thinking I'm going to leave this one here. So if you take a look, that's the new growth coming through here. I'm going to take this and we're going to cut it to about right here. So this is at about the 3.5, maybe 4 feet mark. And my pot is about 1.5 feet tall. So I'm going to cut it off there, and this is going to become, the tree itself is going to stay right at this height, and then this is going to be another propagation, and this should be another propagation. And then when I cut it back, I'm going to leave these couple of leaves on. There's 2 leaves down here. I'm going to leave that on so that they can photosynthesize and actually grow more roots, new shoots to help it grow a new tree. And then this part here, I'm going to take about maybe this leaf off, and that's about it. So this leaf right here, I don't know if you can see that very well, this one right here, take that off, and then this is going to be propagated in water, and then again that's going to be propagated in water. Now hopefully with me cutting it back right here, this should help produce some new stems down here and bush it out and become a tree. So let's get to it. Now the first thing I'm going to do is take out my stake. Stake is just really there to keep the tree upright, and it's not really doing much, but in the event for moving it around, it helps keep it in place. So taking that out, moving it over to the side. And my first cutting is going to be right here. Now the thing with Fiddle Leaf Figs is that it is poisonous. So you have to be careful with that, not getting the sap of the plant on your fingers, because it is poisonous. So it has like this milky consistency. I'll show you when I take a cutting here. So you can see that you can see right here, it's starting to bleed out and show off that sap. So you want to make sure that that does not touch you at all. So I'm making sure that I'm safe and we're not going to touch that area. And then my next cutting is going to be, like I said, about down here. Now, this is going to be a little bit more difficult because this is hardwood, whereas where I just cut was a softer wood. It's new growth. That new growth started back in August when I did move. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult, but I do have my Cutco scissors. They can cut through a penny. So if they can cut through a penny, they should be able to cut through this hardwood. Now, alternatively, you can use like a better knife. This is doing the trick though. Yay for Cutco. And there we go. So a little bit of a choppy cut, but it is pretty decent nonetheless. And that will go into water, and you can see that it is starting to bleed out a little bit. So there we go. Now with these leaves, what you could alternatively do is cut off the browning on them, but I don't like the look of that, and it's pretty much on every leaf, so that's a lot, and it just doesn't look that nice in my opinion. Okay, there we go. So there is the plant now. So that's about 3.5 feet tall, just above my belly button. My belly button's right here. So it's just about around where my stomach area is. So we're going to let that bleed out, and it's going to scab on over. And this will become my new tree. You can see that when I bought it, it was only about this big, and they did have it starting to tree and branch off, but these guys did die, and I haven't cut them back. I could do that right now. Yeah, so it is dead. There's no sap in there at all. They actually just break. I didn't even need to cut them. Now, I know you might be thinking, Matt, you said that the roots have root rot and you're not going to be doing anything about them. Now, the reason why I'm not going to do anything about them right now is just because I want to see what this plant can do with what it currently has in the roots. If it does produce a new shoot and whatnot, that is fantastic. That means that there are new roots in there that are continuing to provide the plant with growth, and that is really promising. It is also pretty cold out today, and I would like to do the root cleanup outside if possible. So we're now in the beginning of March. It's pretty chilly out. We're looking at -2 degrees Celsius in Calgary. I would like to do it in the springtime so I could just wash out the roots outside and then cut them off and take care of them that way. So it is just an experiment. I will keep you guys posted on how this goes. So stay tuned. All right, so right behind me here, I have my propagation stations. We're just going to put the cuttings into the water there. They are filled up, so this one's about filled up to about here, and then this one, you can see because it is clear glass, that it's about just under the halfway mark. So this guy, I need to take one leaf off, and on this one, we have enough, and that's gonna go into the green one. And there we are. They're all set, ready to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. It means a lot to me. If you are wondering what I'm also using for videoing and my lights and whatnot, I do have that in the description below. If you do use those links below, I do benefit from them. They're my affiliate links with Amazon. See you guys in the next video. Bye.